people, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Terry. I talk about USA experience, how to come to the USA, lifestyle in the USA, how to settle, and so many other things. And in today's video, I'll be doing something different than the one I've been doing, whereby I'll be bringing in guests, and we will get to talk about a green card experience when it comes to starting your life in the USA, getting your first job, how to get how to settle in the USA. And without much further ado, let me welcome the guest for the day so that we can get started. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi.
Terry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you welcomed me today. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah.
Thank you for blessing this moment. Guys, there was one time I interviewed him about his green card experience. If you haven't watched that video, I'm gonna link it there at the top. Also, I'm gonna post it on the comment box. Make sure that you go there and watch his awesome experience when it comes to the interview, how much he used for the whole process. And yeah, you will get to know him more. So can you please introduce yourself?
First of all, my name is Onesimus Rono, and I moved here close to 5 years ago. For 4 years now and some months.
Okay.
And I live in Dallas. Yes.
So when you came in the USA, did you straight come to Texas, or have you ever been stayed in another state?
No, actually, I've never stayed in another state. I came straight to Texas, and that's where my host was. And I can say I just moved from one city to another. That's it.
You have moved. So how was your experience the first years? We want to know how you settled in the USA, how you got your paper. How long did it take you to get your papers?
So my papers, as soon as I came to US, the first 2 weeks I received my papers because I had already paid for my UCs, and they as soon as I got here, they processed my papers right away. So
yeah, can you tell us what paper? We may have new subscribers that haven't been following about my journey. I talk more on green card, and they may not know what paper are you talking about. Maybe you can give us a brief information about what paper are and what is the importance of when it comes to those papers.
So the paper we are talking here is the green card, and that's the permanent residence card, and that's one. It's gonna show you are legal. You are legal in US.
Yeah.
So that's the main paper we are talking about, and the social security card.
So for those people that are from other places, every country is different. For my country, Kenya, we call that KRA pin. So for you to get employed in the USA, you have to have a social security number, because they're going to be taking the taxes from your salary, and also they want you to be legally here for you to be employed. So that is very important, and every state is different, right? Like for me, the social security number came after 1 week, actually 6 days.
Yeah.
So every state is different, because I came to Baltimore, Maryland, another state. Yeah. So now you have gotten your paper. Like, before you got the paper, were you able to secure like a job?
So once they processed my paperwork, I started looking for a job. Okay. And meanwhile I was looking for a job, I was lucky because my host, he had a company. He was a painter. So I was doing like remodeling works with him, and then he paid me before I got actually employed as formal employment.
Yeah, but you couldn't get in other normal like companies because they needed
No,
you to
they
have.
needed you to prove that you are legal to work in USA.
And after you got the papers, how long did it take you to get a job? Was it difficult to get a job?
So once I got my papers, I applied for jobs. It took me 1 month to process all that stuff.
Yeah.
And as I was going through the recruiters and all stuff, I applied for one job in a hospital.
Yeah.
And right away they called me for an interview in the next week. So it wasn't that difficult for me to just go ahead and start interview. Yeah.
And how was the interview though?
It wasn't bad because for some reason I had a recommendation from my Kenyan friend.
Yeah.
So they already presented as a recommendation, and it gave me a bonus for my job interview.
Oh, that's really good. But I can comment on that. When you're starting those jobs in the USA, the interview is not complicated for the starters, right?
Yes.
So
they just want to know what you've been doing and what you can do and the level of education you have, and actually they are willing to even train you to start from wherever you want to start,
as long as you are
willing.
You are willing.
Yes.
So that's the key point. As long as you're willing, because some people are picky when it comes to jobs.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that you starting a job in a new country, so sometimes you have to start down as you try to climb the up to go to the career that you want, or if you want to change to another career. I was telling people that my first job was on a beauty store as a customer service person.
Yeah.
And people couldn't understand why I moved from civil engineering to customer service representative. What can you say about that?
Like, you are in a new place. You don't have anyone. It's not like you transitioning your career to an I mean, you can transition later, but you need a place to start.
Yeah.
So once you have all the everything rolling, you can transition you to your best, best career you want.
Yeah.
But anywhere you can start, I don't say it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Starting is, and then also, well, on that, also, like, we have to understand that the system is different.
It's different.
So we can add that.
Yes, it's totally different.
So like for us, we have a new metric system. For them, US is its own.
And you can be having the qualification of a civil engineer, but also you come to a new place where they use different metrics, so they want to know if you are actually familiar with them. So they might ask you to even do 1 month course to refresh or to change equivalency of what you have.
Yeah. So what was your first job in the USA?
So for me, I started as a CNA. I came and I started as CNA for 6 months.
For those people that don't understand CNA.
So CNA is a certified nursing assistant. So I work in a hospital setup as a nursing assistant for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any experience, but they trained me for only 1 month. It's nothing. It's just training. If you want to be trained, you are willing to be trained. You can learn anything in US.
Yeah. That's the key. So you can say that we have a lot of opportunity. It all depends on how you look at it.
Exactly.
And if you're willing to go to that direction.
Yes.
Okay. So you said you worked for 6 months and you were not trained for that.
Yes.
So they trained you for how long?
So it took just 1 month for me to train as a CNA, and even though I didn't finish my exam for certified nursing assistant, but I could be able to work in a hospital as a CNA because they already have given me the skills that they needed. And after 6 months, I wanted to, venture into other things because I felt like that was not exactly what I wanted to be doing for me. It wasn't in me. So it was just a good job. It was paying a good job for me, but I wasn't happy right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you venture into after 6 months?
So I decided to do equipment operator.
Equipment operator.
So because I guess I love being around, machines and all that. So I worked with the company, a home builder company. So I was in charge of equipment operation. Yeah.
Wow. And so there is one thing that you mentioned, your passion.
Yeah.
I know your passion was also on something else, that is tracking.
Yes.
How can you tell like this is a good career path for you or anyone else that want to venture into that? Because I have a few questions concerning the tracking. How to start? Is it paying well? Can you like establish a business from that?
I once I finished equipment operating for that period. One of my friend was a truck driver, so he talked to me and he was like, why don't you try this? So I decided to venture in trucking. So it's a good business.
Yeah.
It's a business that most Americans now rely on. It's well rewarding. It's not complicated to start.
Yeah.
You can manage it at your phone. You can have your own business, and you can even employ others. So it's something that is I can advise people to look into if you love traveling.
Yeah.
Because it comes also with if you can enjoy a 4-hour drive without getting tired and all that, you can do trucking because minimum is 4-hour drive, 6 hours, and the longest you can do is up to 48 hours.
Well, does it pay well?
It does pay well. Comparing the jobs in America now, trucking company has more reward in the economy right now. Because America rely now on trucking.
That's true. I have my friend who has the trucking company, so what you're saying is very true. And if you're watching this and you may want to join trucking industry, transport industry, to be a truck driver, you can also do dispatcher. It's also another job that you can get. It's really rewarding for sure. And you can start your own company. I have seen people start. It's very easy to start. Actually, it's good to self-employ yourself.
It's self-employment, yeah.
Because one, you have control of your schedule.
Yes.
Two.
And you can decide to work for 6 months today, and you're done, and you can take a vacation for the rest of your. So you don't have be bashed of why. Or the vacation you can decide anytime you want.
Yeah,
up to you.
Yeah, you can. Wow, that's good. I see my.
It's a flexible.
I
job.
see my friend going to Kenya for 3 months, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And
because you are not afraid to I will lose a job, or I will where will I start going now, finding another job. You can just find a place to park your truck, go home, stay for as long as you want, come back and start it again like that.
Yeah, but every job has its own disadvantage.
Yeah.
For example, driving on the snow.
Driving on the snow, bad weather, and sometimes this trucking you are away from family most of the time. If you are a family person, it's something, you know, it will take away your time from family, because you'll be, most of the time you'll be out of the states. Yeah, maybe, and other things like tiresome, no sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too demanding.
Yeah, and when you drive trucking, is it men that do that or even the ladies?
We have the ladies that do that, and they do it best. I'm telling you.
That's for sure, because I know one friend who does that.
It's a man dominant job, but most ladies, you can find them in truck. We have families that actually do as a co-drivers. So husband and wife, they do.
Oh wow!
So they just decide, you know,
like they work together.
They work together. So it's a teamwork, yeah, team driving.
Like, how does that one work?
So if you have a truck, let's say like just a normal truck.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have jobs that are demanding. They need 2 drivers.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hire another driver, you can be, you know, husband and wife, and you can just hit the road. You drive for 8 hours. You take a nap. The other driver take 8 hours, take a nap, just like that.
Wow.
And you find it like, you know, it's even, you know, like this.
Like you're always on the move.
On the move, yeah.
Because you're not the only one who is driving.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a good point, because there is a rule that one has to follow,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And you can't drive more than
10 hours.
More than 10 hours, like.
You have to drive for 10 hours and sleep for 10 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a safety issue. They have to make sure all drivers are, you know, they are safe on the road. Because it's a certain limit you cannot push beyond your strength.
Yeah. Wow. So guys, you have heard yourself concerning the trucking drivers. If you want to pursue on that, I can tell you, I have seen people succeed having their own companies, creating jobs opportunities. So go for it. If you're planning to come, go for it.
And one amazing thing about truck driving is you can have opportunity to visit America in a span of like 3 months. You'll be in all major cities in America if you want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially if you like
traveling or you try adventuring.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that, let's talk about the culture shock. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, I know you know the culture shock I'm talking about. Most of the time, people say when you move to a different place, you experience that you know, the you know, sense of the
belonging.
Yeah, you, and then there's no what do we say? Community. So you find being lonely is one thing. You'd be like, wow, this is strange.
So
Social life is something that I struggle with, because for me, I used to interact with people so many times. Like that's the thing that was first culture shock, was a social life.
So you consider yourself introvert or extrovert?
I think I am extrovert.
Really?
Yeah, because you know, I can go and interact with somebody. I can make friends easily. I can just I can go to grocery store like that and start conversation. You know, I like going out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So did you finally get the community, and how is it difficult to get like Kenyan community or any other country, from any other country?
So it depends on where you land, especially in a small city. Like where I started my life was a small city in Texas called San Angelo.
Yeah.
And it's a small town, so you can rarely find most people going there. So we had like a community of not more than 20 people over there. And even though they are a small community, I was so refreshed when I finally met some, you know, Kenyan people there, because you can go there and, you know, have some ugali, have some Kenyan food, talk about some things from home, So yeah.
Yeah, especially the because like San Angelo, I can picture it. It's more like of
It's a country. Yeah,
for
it's a
white.
country.
Mostly it's white.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. All that they do is, farming, ranching, and oil field.
So if you are in the oil field and you like country life, you may consider San
Angelo,
Angelo in Texas.
Yes.
Is there a good place like to stay? Can you recommend someone?
I can recommend somebody if you would like, a small city with no much going on. San Angelo is the best.
Oh.
Yeah, they are one of the best school there in the country.
Yeah.
And oil field now is like the coal mine right now. It's booming. So a lot of businesses is in San Angelo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And how did you get the host all the way from in San Angelo?
Yeah. So what I did is in Kenya we had these friends who normally come from Texas to Kenya for missionaries.
Yeah.
And that's where we connected. And my cousin, she used to live in San Angelo too.
Okay.
And I had initially used my cousin as a host. But then they were moving to Dallas from San Angelo when I was planning to come to US.
Yeah.
So I switched to those friends of mine. They are white, and I stayed for them for that close to 1 year before I moved to Dallas now.
And those were white people.
Yes.
So guys, you can see you can be hosted by the missionary, anyone.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So when you were going to the interview, your cousin was your host in your application.
In my application.
And did you have to change the address at the point of entry?
Yes. So once when I knew my cousin was moving to Dallas. So I asked them to give me the address, the other host. So when I came to port of entry, they asked me for those papers, like the envelope and everything. And then as soon as I finished, I told them I need to change my address where the green card will be sent to. So they told me write it down. I write it down, and I was good to go. The next thing I saw in the mail was just my green card on the mail.
Yeah, guys, one thing I have to say, it's very important to change your address at the point of entry. What I mean by at the point of entry is that on the custom border, the airport you will be landing at. I have a scenario which I'm gonna be talking about later into details. They didn't change at the address at the point of entry, and it came with a lot of issue, like their paper getting sent to the initial host. So it's very important, and that's why I had to bring this question so that you can see how important it is. They don't ask you anything why you are changing it or anything, but you know what, that is a topic for another day. So let's continue. Stay tuned for that.
And if you know you are going to move from the address, the initial address you put on DS260, make sure even if your host has moved to another place, make sure you have the address that they will be staying. So you update it right away, because as soon as you get to the US, to where you land, they start processing your paperwork immediately.
Immediately.
So you don't want to be caught in the middle trying to find where is your papers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what was the experience with your white host?
Well, it was different but good.
It was different but good.
Yes. The thing about white people is they are straightforward, they are time conscious, and they are on the point. They don't beat. One thing I love about them is they are adventurous. They were like, they could decide and say, let's go for a road trip. Just things like that I never do in And the thing is, the different thing was food. Their food is way different from our food. So I was in the middle. Sometimes eat salad when I wasn't prepared to eat salad. Which
Wow.
is it's good. It's
healthy.
good. It's healthy food, but for me, your mind is expecting ugali.
It's more sick.
Yeah. So things like that. But I'll say that was one of the things I had to learn how to cope up with.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow. Guys,
Yeah.
and that is 1 year experience that we're talking about. So how do you compare your 1 year in the USA? Can you compare it with the way you were living in Kenya?
So yeah, of course. The first 1 year it was a complete turnaround because I can in Kenya I had just finished college, but I didn't have any job that I can say I can be able to do 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
But once I get here, I am able to
Get a job.
get a job. I have these certain things that I can help back home
Yeah.
with my family and my my community.
Yeah.
So it was a complete change of
For you.
yeah.
Wow.
And I can say moving here was one of the best things that have ever happened to me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is so nice. So you can say your life changed. What did you do in Kenya, like in college?
I did business administration. Yeah. I did business administration in Kenya for 3 years.
Is there a reason why you did not want to continue with the business administration in the USA?
There was no reason at all, but looking at in the market in the USA is competitive, and
For that,
for that field.
yeah.
So you don't want to spend 10 years trying to get into a market. Instead, you can venture something that it can bring you a reward right away.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're passionate
And
about it.
you're passionate about it.
Yeah? Was it difficult to start staying by yourself?
The first time I moved out of my host, it was a little bit challenging because I had to start to get everything into line, but it wasn't hard because I already had a job, so it was just to get everything sorted and then start now making sure you're paying for yourself all the bills, and because I didn't have a roommate when I moved out of to my host.
After how long did you move?
After 6 months.
Oh, after 6 months. And how did you get a permit? Was it difficult to source for? Like, what are the requirements for?
So the requirement, they checked basically they check if you are employed and if you can be able to meet the monthly rent, you can be able. So they check how much you're making, so they can gauge if you can afford it, and if you have any credits which can show you can default the rent or what, they can make sure they want to check, make sure you are on a good good terms with credit. So credits actually is like loan. You don't have any default loan, you don't have any late payments, you don't have any issues with the lenders. So those things that can put a red flag on you, that's what they were trying to check. And also I think those are the major things that they check for me.
Yeah, so it's important to build your credit, and credit cards and credit score is something that I'm going to talk about in a video by itself because it's a detailed. Because here in the USA, credit is everything. You go to buy a car, you want to take it on a car note, you have to have a good credit. You want to go to the apartment, you have to reach a certain threshold for you to be accepted in the apartment. So it's very important, and I wanna discuss that in depth, so stay tuned for that. So our guest, thank you so much for sharing. You will be seeing him again, so please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let us know which other discussion do you want us to discuss with him? If you want to talk more about the tracking, if you want us to have a Q&A for a live video, let us know and we will be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Terry. And thank you guys for taking time to watch this video. I hope we can be able to answer some few things that you have in mind.
Yeah.
And maybe if you have another question, just let Terry know. And give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah, and subscribe. Please share this video. We are on the journey to 10,000 subscribers. Make sure that you subscribe it if you haven't, and also make sure that you share this video with your loved one. Until then, I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.
Bye.